sitting here in the cabin up in Wisconsin, and I'm really happy to bring to you the beautiful, the wonderful, the most intelligent, the icon of golf, Art Stricklin. How are you doing, Art?
Hey, great. Happy holidays to you and yours.
Yeah, we got a lot to be thankful for. We're just a few hours away from overeating. I'm going to start, and I mean just hours. I'm going to be cooking all day.
And football. Don't forget football.
Well, so the Bears are going to end the Detroit's winless streak. So, and then you'll see a whole house cleaning, we hope, here in Chicago, because it's pathetic with the history they have. But anyway, I wanted to talk to you in this beautiful magazine. This is our Meet the Author segment. And you're always in the magazine, and everybody's always wondered what Art's really like. And I keep telling them, he got rid of the ankle bracelet months ago. Everything's cool, not a problem. But president of the Texas Golf Writers Association and an author of too many books to even count at this point. How many books have you authored so far, Art?
I've done 11, Uncle Randy, 11.
And he has fully credentialed in the world of golf with the LPGA, PGA, the USGA, and all the GAs and international, national, traveling around the world to cover the biggest events. And we'll get to that in a minute. But your article, we wanted to have everybody know, sometimes they get to put a face and a conversation behind the article that you wrote. I know you spent some time up in Wisconsin. You went to the Ryder Cup, played some golf in Lake Geneva. How'd you enjoy the Wisconsin hospitality?
Oh, unbelievable. Great hospitality, great cheese curds, of course. And, really a good trip. One thing that really surprised me, I don't think people were maybe aware of, is that how much great public golf there is in Wisconsin. I think every course has the great private icons that are hard to get on, and if you know the art of golf, but how much public golf course there is, including Western Straits, which is a public golf course and is available for all once the pros got off of it.
Yeah, everybody go out and see how they could shoot from those tees to those massive greens they had, flat and unundulated. What was it? Number 14 had that, maybe a postage stamp of a green. I mean, it was just a polka dot sitting there
and sticking out into Lake Michigan. That's a little scary.
And Jordan almost ran into Lake Michigan on one of his shots.
That's number 17.
Yeah,
almost went head over heels into Lake Michigan.
Have you seen the side view of that shot? They had a description. Somebody had their camera going, and they did a description of how that ball went straight up and straight down, and only went 5 feet forward, but traveled probably 100 feet altogether.
Well, Jordan traveled close to 100 feet.
Oh, you're going to experience that Lake Michigan. I really thought he was going to end up in Lake Michigan. I really did. A lot of fun, but what a great shot that was. But yeah, I mean, Wisconsin, I have the benefit of living in Northern Illinois, played a lot of golf in Wisconsin. You and I enjoyed Erin Hills.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, boy, it's just, the weather this past year was fantastic for Wisconsin golf. But, you're right. I never thought about it until you wrote your article, and there's a lot of majors that come to Wisconsin. I'm going to say that, how many majors have come to Wisconsin?
Well, you've had the U.S. Senior Open been there, U.S. Open has been there, Ryder Cup has been there, PGA Championship has been there. So every major, men's major that can travel. Obviously, the Masters is always at Augusta. British Open's always over in the UK, but every major that can travel, the U.S. Open, the PGA, Senior Open, U.S. Women's Open, has all been to Wisconsin. Shows you what a golf mecca that is.
It really is. It really is. Now, you went down to Lake Geneva, which is
great.
One of the
really good. And I had not been there before. I did not realize how much great golf there is in Lake Geneva. Just spectacular. Really, and they were giving us a history lesson. A lot of time back in the early part of the last century, a lot of people come from Chicago. That would be their summer home, would be Lake Geneva, come in from Chicago. And Wrigley, the Wrigley family, of course, people know about Wrigley Field. One-time owner of the Chicago Cubs, the chewing gum company. Those Wrigley's have a huge place in Lake Geneva, and just spectacular. You can still get the mail delivered by boat boat will come. If you've got a place on the lake, the boat will come and deliver your mail every day. So cool stuff, and great golf Lake Geneva. And again, all public, Grand Geneva and Lake Geneva, Geneva National, just good stuff, all public. And, that really is because, for example, New York has a lot of awesome golf courses, but 90% of the great golf courses in New York are all private. So if you don't have a membership and you live in New York City, you're really out of luck as far as public golf goes. In Wisconsin, really the opposite. If you've got a private membership in Wisconsin, you're missing out on the best golf courses that are all public. So great stuff, like Geneva, fun place, a lot of great food. Geneva National. I know where the best steakhouse is now because, someone once told me, Randy, I may not be a scratch par sure player, but when it comes to eating, I'm Hall of Fame. And so I got the best steakhouses there in Lake Geneva. Just really a cool place.
Well, I live there. I mean, I'm only 45 minutes from there now, but I lived on Geneva National for 3 years.
Yeah.
By choice. Played all the courses. One of the best courses just west of there is over on Delavan Lake called Lake Lawn.
And, played there. Yeah, played there.
Yeah, iconic Lake Lawn Lodge. They had, back in the day, they had Dino, the Rat Pack would fly in there for a night, and then they go down to the Wagon Wheel for a night, and then the Pheasant Run for a night. It was quite the place. And but in Lake Geneva, we'll talk about this later when we have you come back up. I've walked down and under the sidewalks. Our friend Mr. Capone built underground tunnels, as he did in many cities, and I've walked these in Lake Geneva. And he felt that the feds could get in by car, but never get in by boat. So he had 5 avenues to get to Lake Geneva, underground, to get to his boat, to get away from the feds. So,
well, and if you probably know, Randy, not that of course you would ever do this, but the original Playboy Club was in Lake Geneva.
Yes, it was.
And the original Playboy Club, and when I was a kid, there was a Playboy Club in Dallas, and obviously Hollywood, all the places, but the original Playboy Club was in Lake Geneva, and just all the singers and actors, like I said, Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra, Julie Andrews, Sammy Davis, you name a top performer, they've all been there. And, that's just entertainment. And I'm not sure how much golf they play, probably a little bit, but what a great combination of golf, entertainment, food, and, just fun, and a variety of designers. Lee Trevino, my Dallas pal, did a course up here. Arnold Palmer obviously did. Nicholas, just great designers.
Well, the Nicholas Palmer, it's Palmer Player and Trevino did the 3 at Geneva National.
Right. Yeah.
And then Jack came in and did the redo over at Grand Geneva. And yes, I did during the Playboy Club era. We had many college outings there. And our friend Doug Sanders told me some great stories about his time there at the Playboy Club many years ago with some of our friends that we've mentioned in the past. But I'm going to have to be, I had some family issues this summer when you were there. You're going to have to come back and we'll get that set up next year.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm going to take you to golf courses where we can musky fish in the morning and, or trout fish, whatever you want. Go have a couple beers and then go play some golf in the afternoon in some iconic places of eating that will knock your socks off. Because I would imagine that you missed a place called Mars on Lake Como. That's just north of Lake Geneva. And that is truly great friends that we have over there. Most beautiful sunsets in Wisconsin. But my goodness, let's get up to date just a little bit because you're on the Tiger Watch. We're going to shift into current time. So it's going to be the extended version for this interview.
Yeah.
By the way, can't wait to do all the authors of this last magazine, The Next Taste. It has gone around the world. Your beautiful story now is in Italy, Argentina, in Ireland, Scotland, Germany. It's all over Europe, India, Indonesia. And then I'm going to have an interview later and tomorrow with Daniel Sullivan, who did those beautiful pictures from Antarctica, because he's going home by way of South America. And I talked to him. It's amazing how Wi-Fi works, because he sent me some pictures from his South America adventure, and truly more amazing. So it's really fun to get you right in the magazine after the date, because I get people ask me questions about what's art really like. And I said, man, he's on the Tiger watch. He predicted Tiger is going to come back. Now we have evidence. So bring us up to date on Tiger. When's his tee time, and where's the course record he's going to go break?
Well, I mean, you are correct. I was on your show and others saying that Tiger would play the Masters in 2022, and I think I'm going to be validated on that. I think that most golfers have seen the 7-second clip he posted of pounding balls there at the range in Florida, and what did I see last? There was like 12 million views already of that clip, and broke the internet. So, I mean, what really led me to believe this is you saw how much Tiger enjoyed playing in the father-son last year in Florida with his son, and
Charlie,
and I just think that rekindled his desire to play and his son to see him. And one of the things I think Tiger really missed out on is that he never played in the par 3 when he was at Augusta, because he thought that took away from his preparation. But now I think to have Charlie at the par 3 and caddying for him, and I think that, and as a good friend of mine, Mike Abbott said, who did Blue Jack National here in Houston with Tiger, kids just soften you. They really do. And I think, they soften Tiger. I mean, the closest proximity we ever had to Tiger was Ben Hogan, as far as a cutthroat, hardened competitor that would step on your windpipe and not even think twice about it. And Ben Hogan never had kids and really stayed as hardened as crusty, almost to the day he died. But that's not the case with Tiger. You can say whatever you want to about his marital status or whatever, but, he's done right by his kids. He's been very involved in his kids' lifestyle and kids. And so I think that the motivation for Tiger is to come back to the Masters in 2022, to have Charlie as his caddy for the par 3. I think he'd be in the par 3 for the first time ever. And, see what he can do. That doesn't mean Tiger doesn't want to win the Masters. Doesn't mean he doesn't think he can win the Masters. That's a different conversation, Randy.
Right.
The fact that he's going to be there and tee it up at Augusta, I predicted that would happen, and I see nothing to alter that prediction.
No, I think you're absolutely right. A couple other things. I told my son last night, there's this poster board where it has all the pros, DeChambeau, and everybody wishing Tiger back. Have you seen that yet? Where it's sort of like they all wrote on a wall.
Yeah.
And I told Adam last night, I said, during Hogan's era, I don't think he'd be one signing that love card, bringing him back. I just don't think that would happen.
Well, and I think, and we've talked about this before, all these guys on the tour today grew up idolizing Tiger. They did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jimbo and, Koepka, and that's the reason most of these guys got into golf, because they wanted to beat Tiger.
Yeah.
So
well, I think the other funny caption was, and Justin Thomas had, and I know you're on a hard stop here, so I'm going to get you out. But Justin Thomas had some great things to say about Rory. And I mean, this brotherhood of these great young men. He just saying what kind of a competitor he was. But that picture of Rory, funniest caption, it's all torn, ripped, and Rory's reading his phone. And the funny caption, it wasn't really the true caption, but somebody put in, Rory just found out he's not going to win the Masters next spring either. Tiger's back.
All that, yeah. So it could be true, it could be true. But yeah, just great to see Tiger back, and great to see golf back and everything. So,
well, I appreciate you, Art. You have a happy Thanksgiving. Give our best to Jordan, your friend that got a new baby. And by the way, he is number 1, if you haven't seen this, in what's called the old Sangarin poll, Sangarin, S-A-N-G-A-R.
Yeah.
So he's number 1 now. And
well, just remember, both you and I have raised kids and lived to tell about it. We're not sure about Jordan yet, so we have that on him right now, you know.
He'll do great. There's no finer young man than Jordan Spieth. How could you go wrong with having Jordan Spieth, Rory McIlroy, Justin Thomas, Ricky Fowler, Morikawa now in that group, all these young guys that, you know, I mean, honestly, I wished I was 50 years younger just so I could watch them play. I mean, they are such a wonderful, you know, it's not hard to find an example for your son or your daughter, because there's great on the LPGA also. But I know, Art, you got to go. You have a happy Thanksgiving. I appreciate everything you bring. Looking forward to your article upcoming in the next magazine.
Golf and Gourmet.
Yeah, and every week we have Art on the what'd you say, Art? I'm sorry.
I said the next article is on the Putamita Golf and Gourmet. I'm going to be playing championship golf and hanging out with championship chefs. What's not to like about that?
How about that? Ooh, World of Art always is a good one. All righty. PGA show coming up in January. We'll talk about that in the coming weeks. So right now, celebrate with your family. Have a great Thanksgiving. We have a lot to be thankful for.
You do the same, my friend. Faith, friends, family. Always the best.
Keep the faith, baby. All right, this is Art Stricklin on Meet the Author for the Next Page Magazine. And we'll be signing out. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.